Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gemma's Window. If you have followed the calculations in the box below and determined that you are a power year number 7, then you're at the right place. Hey, sevens, you only have to determine and calculate your power year number once for the entire year of 2020. Your monthly numbers change, but that's where I come in and tell you your number every month. So this month, for July 2020, you are in the month of 5. Now, I'm going to start to shuffle the cards, sevens, while I describe to you and remind you what your numbers mean and reacquaint you with what to expect this year as a power year number 7. Now, the year of 7 is a lot to do with what's my purpose? What do I really want? And it tends to be a time where you're thinking more so than speaking or actively putting it out there. There are just other years where you're more maybe physical, but this is a year of going inward, of where do I fit in the world? What's the bigger picture of my life? What do I really want? And where is my faith and where is my trust? And so you might come across situations where you're challenged about areas that you're weaker in or need to develop more. You're going to be very analytical this year, but also intuitive this year. And in the month of 5, there's a little contrast because you can be a little bit cynical and skeptical this month of July, but we want you to be resilient and we want you to be honest this month of July. So with these things in mind, sevens, there's more to 7 too. It's the most spiritual number out of the cycle, and how that in the tangible world works out is, what do you believe in? Where's your faith? Sometimes to know who you are, you get to a point where you're like, I have to know what I believe in. What do I believe in? Let me start there. What happens to me after I die? And do I believe that everything works out for the better? Do I believe that destined to end up where I'm supposed to be, and how much am I supposed to participate in getting to that place? And the other thing about a 7 is it tends to be a year of specializing in something, so that if a project of some kind, that could be anything. It could be if you have a child that has a disability or an issue that you are focused on working with them. Really, really focused on them for this particular year of 2020. Moving on, sevens. Okay, we've shuffled, we've given these cards a nice shuffle, and let's start with business like we usually do. Then we're going to go to relationship, and then we're going to be headed to any question at all that you have. So let's see about those of you who are working, those of you who do have a job. What do we have in store for you, or perhaps what's the perception of you at work? And I do want to tell you, sevens, that anything that's said in this reading is for you. I like to divide things up to make them more interesting and more specific. But if I say something in romance and it resonates for you in business, it is for you. So feel flexible that all of these words are for you. We're looking at sevens who are working. You all already are around a group of people, and I feel like there's going to be somebody inserted into work that either doesn't belong there, or you feel doesn't belong there, or you feel what happened. I liked who I was working with or for, and now you're throwing me with so-and-so, and I don't really know them. And the gist is that you're not happy about it. There could be some new changes of some kind, whether it be a person or a format at the workplace. And the suggestion for you sevens is not not to get too excited over it in this month of July. Now, if you want to come home and throw the pillow around, you go ahead and do it. But at the workplace, the card that I have, which happens to be a 7, it happens to be a sword card, which is a card of action. And the action is to be kind, not to strong arm, that you will get much farther by trying to just go along with things, seeming flexible, being kind, introducing yourself, helping with a new program, saying that the office space isn't that bad, that's okay, because they had to, combine offices, because, this whole virus thing, it's just affecting so much our lives and everything about them. So you are meant to look as though you're going with the flow, 7s, and give yourself some time to think before you make a conclusion. Okay, 7s, let's move on to those of you who are looking for a job, and maybe even those of you who have a job who have put feelers out there and you're wondering, am I going to hear back from someone? All that kind of thing, everything to do with jobs. Oh. Wait a minute. I didn't mention for you, 7s, you're in a month of 5. You're in a month of 5 for July, and that is about change. It's about change, and that's what your reading was, 7. It was about there's going to be some change at work, and the point is it's to go along with it, to try to adapt and to try to be resilient, which is why it's happening in your month of 5, because that's what 5 means for you. I got to go along. I got to go along with this. It's a change, but I have to go along. Okay, 7s, moving on to those of you who are looking for work in this month of 5, in this month of July. Okay, let's see. Well, it looks to me, 7s, like you have other concerns. You have other concerns that this month of July, it looks to me like it's still a bit of a touch and go about what's going to happen as far as work. Now, this may be a hard, nut to chew? I don't know. But it looks as though the universe is holding you back, or wants you to hold yourself back from overcommitting or even committing to that 40 hours a week, because it looks as though you're still sorting people that you're taking care of. You're still sorting something else in your own life, and it's very difficult for you to juggle too much in this month of July. And coming into fruition is a great card, and it will be in the month of July, but it's that I feel like something out of the blue, job wise, is just going to fall into your lap, or financial wise will fall into your lap, and someone will come along and pick up some slack of things that you were worrying about, like, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to pay this? It's a try your best to go with the flow, because things are not working out for a reason, or you choose not to go full steam ahead this month for a reason, because something's telling you it's not right yet. I still have some T's to cross and I's to dot in another area or areas in my life. Whew. Okay, 7s. All right, let's clear these up. Let's go to romance and relationship. And let's give these cards a good shuffle. Now, 7 is that year of specializing. So you may be single for the first time in a long time and say, you know what, I'm not going to do anything about that yet, or not going to push it, or not going to force it because I'm still recovering, or I'm still working on doing things that I would like to do. And then you have this month of changes where anything could happen within a relationship if you're in one. Now also, sevens, you might be in a serious relationship and you might be saying, well, no, I just want to do this and I want to focus on this person and I want to see if I can work this out before I do anything else. So it is a real year of focus on what you want. Let's pull some cards for those of you sevens who are in a relationship. You're in a relationship right now. For this month of July 2020. I feel it looks very, very nice. I mean, first of all, you have the marriage card right smack in the center, and that's my world card. And the world card means that you either can commit, you can get engaged, or look forward to talking about that, or look forward to living together or marriage. But also, it's the culmination of all things. It's where all things fall into place for you. And around it is job stuff and success in a tangible way working out for you. So if this makes any sense, sevens, I feel like the moving parts of your relationship are more about your job, or relocating with it, or traveling with it, or some kind of an adjustment maybe that you've had to make with your job. And the stable part is the relationship, where someone's going to cut you some slack. Your loved one, someone that you're seeing, whatever. They're cutting you some slack. Things are going to calm down in that area, feel more secure, so that you can focus on other things that are going on around you and try to advance yourself. And that could even be if you were in school or a student or you wanted to take courses. It's just that home life is going to be more secure and stable so that you can branch out and actually do something else that you've wanted to focus on. And this is apparently some kind of a change for you coming up in this month of July. That is some kind of a change in your life that you will be able to take advantage of. Now I'm going to shuffle these cards and we're going to look for those of you sevens who are not in a relationship right now, who are looking for a relationship, or maybe someone who's, up and down with the same person, or you're not sure where you stand, or you're waiting for, maybe there can be a reconciliation. Again, all these words, sevens, all these words apply to you. So if your situation, relates to a segment that I'm declaring is for singles, but you're with someone and it's in, and my words are backwards for you, take the words that are applicable to you. All words are applicable to our sevens. So technically, I'm looking at people who are single. Okay, so it's not yet for you, sevens. I feel like you're heading into your most romantic month next month, in the month of August. And there seems to be a theme for those of you who are looking for a job and those of you who are looking for love. And I'm using different decks here, sevens. And there seems to be a theme of your focus is being pushed towards something else, someone other than you, people who have to do with you, or a situation that has to do with you, but the universe wants you to focus on that instead of yourself. Let's say, for example, you have children, or you have nieces and nephews, or you have, concerns of, I'm just picking an example, of children, and it's the summertime, and it's you have to spend more time with them, or you have volunteered to spend more time with them, or what have you, and you're like, but this is kind of taking away, from me. I really want, my friend asked me to go to California for 2 weeks, but I'm supposed to be in charge of the kid, my nieces and my nephews. And according to what I have here, is that the universe wants you to focus on other responsibilities outside of yourself for this month of July, so that you will just have to postpone the trip. You will have to make it work around your other commitments. But the timing, I have the timing card here. The timing, you'll know it when it happens. The timing just isn't right now for you to jump into a relationship. And let me suggest something too, sevens. Things may happen backwards for you when it comes to romance. Let's say, for example, you take on a camp counselor position, or whatever it is that you meet the children of someone who actually is going to become an important person in your life. There is a reason why the universe is shuffling things up and maybe having them fall into your life backwards to get you to the final frontier of what you want, and that is perhaps a loving relationship. Okay, sevens, moving on. Sevens, we are going to do, we're going to ask any question that you'd like. It can be about love, it can be about romance, anything at all, again, that you'd like. And just be specific with your question. And we are going to ask, what is the best outcome we can expect from your question? So we're shuffling our third deck here. And here we go. Pull this baby out. Okay, sevens. So the gist, again, that we've got going on is steady. Is slow and steady wins the race. And yet again, I've got something here that says, you're hearing something, you're perceiving something, and you're not correct. You don't know the whole story. You don't know all the facts, and you're not correct. And I feel like you're waiting for a time. You've been waiting for a time for this all to work out, like work out already, or let the right moment come that I can speak to someone about the issue that I have, or when is this situation going to actually happen? And I feel like, if anything, you're feeling more down in July, that it's just never going to happen, is it? It's just never going to happen what you're asking for to happen. And then boom, your last card here is my perfect partnership card. So that means that you do come to a agreement, partnership of some kind. Maybe it's a hiring situation where you finally talk to the right person who sees in you what you wanted them to, because the person you were going to interview with was sick, so someone else stepped in and it just worked out for you. So I'm going to stick with the card that we got before. We got that Seven of Swords that said, try, and you're in the year of 7, try to play it cool this month of July when something you feel goes awry, because it's actually not really going awry. You just don't understand all the components yet. It's a change. You're in a month of flux. This is a month of flux where some pieces are meant to be disheveled and moved around and not quite fitting, but it's not your job to know how every single solitary piece is going to fit together in the piece of life in the puzzle of life, where you don't control all the other pieces. You just have to do your best and try to be agreeable and understanding and flexible in this month of July, and let everything fall into place for you, because that's exactly where you're headed, sevens. Thanks, sevens. Thanks for joining Gemma's Window. My goodness, didn't we have a nice time this July of 2020? And next month, you are going to be in the most romantic month of the year. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you. If you'd like to know anything more about me, just jump on to gemmaswindow@gmail.com, and you can get a hold of me there, and we can have a private reading, because that's what I primarily do. I like to do a little YouTube action because, hey, it's trendy, it's fun, and it gives you a little taste of a reading every month, just to get to know me, if that's indeed what you're doing. So thanks again, and I'll see you next time, sevens. Bye for now.